Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Sports Central. I'm Neal Duncan. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. We're going to talk upcoming events at the RP Funding Center, as well as the Elite Cable Park in Auburndale, and a fantastic feature on the recently completed Pan-American Lacrosse Association Women's World Qualifier. Stick around, everybody, for this week's edition of Sports Central. Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal Duncan alongside Mr. Hank Longo. And
hello, everybody.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know where 2019 went, but
it's flown by.
Thanksgiving next week, and
well, we've
Christmas
had so many
soon.
events going on, one after another. They just kind of get snowballing, and all of a sudden, here we are coming into Thanksgiving, and not too far away from Christmas.
Yeah.
And our first segment, I want to thank the folks at Cleveland Heights for their sponsoring our first segment on Sports Central.
Absolutely, great partners of tourism and sports marketing, and this will be our last regular live show, if you will, because our next show will be the year in review. So
and that's so much
fun.
That
is a great show. We're looking forward to it. But another thing we look forward to is all the great events at the RP Funding Center, and we want to welcome our first guest to Sports Central, Tony Camarillo, the director of all things at the RP Funding Center.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome back to Sports Central, and there's so many things we can talk about. Where do you want to start at? Because you and your team are always doing so many things.
Where do you start? Well, I just want to make sure that I promote this, because this is something that anybody can go on the website and take a look at.
Okay.
In PDF form. But this is our brochure. It's our annual brochure. It talks about everything happening at the RP Funding Center that we're going to talk about today, and plus more. So if the guests want to go ahead and take a look at the rpfundingcenter.com website, click on the website on the tab for this PDF. They can go ahead and see that. But really, it is the season. It is the Christmas season.
Yeah.
So we've already kind of kicked off that season already. We have a couple of things coming up. We have Elf on the Shelf. It's a new Broadway production coming out, and it's a Christmas musical, and that's on November the 25th. And then we have this wonderful comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco. He's really hot right now. He'll be here on November the 30th. It's the Friday after Thanksgiving for a sold-out show. So there's actually probably maybe a few tickets left on day of, but you check that out. But he's pretty sold out, and we're really excited to have him. This guy's big time, and so when you sell it, you're doing pretty good, and we're really happy to have him. The ISO is going to be back again for their holiday pop show. It's always a favorite of the Lakeland community. It's on December the 10th. Beautiful Carole King musical. That's actually the first of our Broadway package that's coming to the RP Funding Center. And beautiful is the Carole King musical is on December the 23rd. Then we have Uncle John's Band, and that's for those old Deadheads. They might remember the Grateful Dead experience. And this has happened on January the 4th. And this concert, actually, they're going to recreate the 1977 Grateful Dead concert that was at the RP Funding Center, formerly the Lakeland Center.
Yeah, you were there,
formerly the
weren't
Lakeland
you,
Civic Center. Hank, you might have been there.
Yeah, I missed that one, though. I missed that one, though.
Yeah, I wasn't there either because
I was playing in my band. We had the same gig going on
there
in
you go.
different towns.
Yeah,
so.
that worked out well for you.
Yeah, it worked out well.
But what a great idea and what a great experience.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about them. It's a great tribute band that we're going to have.
And to that point, just went through the renovation, and we can talk about that a little bit if you want to, and the way that the RP Funding Center looks. But there's a lot of history there.
It really is.
At the old Lakeland Center, or the Lakeland Civic Center, if you want to go really far back. But there's a lot of historical events that took place.
There are, and this is definitely one of them. I think it's an interesting story. I was going through some old files. I had this file from Journey, when Journey was at the RP Funding Center in I believe it was the late 80s. And to look at the way the file was put together and all the financial and all the paper that goes with it, everything was paper back then. So it's not like you can type it up in like we do now. But it's so interesting to see how things were done back then. And there's quite a bit of history now, which is Journey and the Grateful Dead. But we're talking Elvis and some other wonderful performers that have been through the Civic Center. Yeah, that's good. And I tell people all the time, it is the RP Funding Center. We're very proud of our name. But if you want to call it the Lakeland Center or the Lakeland Civic Center, I say just call it what you want, just come and enjoy it.
Yeah,
because
really.
we're here for you. So that's what I like to do. So a couple other quick events coming up. We have A Bronx Tale on January the 6th, another Broadway show. The Naked Magicians on January the 17th. I don't know much about it, but there are the word naked in it, and the word magicians in it. So
Keep going.
Who knows? Another favorite for the Doo-Wop Project. It's been here before. A wonderful event for those 1950s crooners type people who like that. Waitress, another of our Broadway shows on January the 23rd. And the last two that I like to promote is Gala of the Royal Horses, which is in the arena, and Stomp. And Stomp's pretty much, it's not part of our package for the Broadway series, but it is pretty much a Broadway show, and that's on January 30th.
Well, I think it's important for the viewers at home to realize, and we're always, this is why we have Sports Central, this is why we have Radio Sports Central, but you look at the RP Funding Center and the mix between a quality of life piece with the City of Lakeland and obviously being the owner and operator of the facility, but the partnerships, why they make sense, because it's a blend between locals utilizing it for quality of life,
Sure.
Sports tourism, going into the facility for sports and special events, but also our leisure travelers, they come in, it's something else for them to do and to enjoy when they're coming into Polk County, when they're spending their money, whether it's sports or leisure travel, but then the facility side of it. So now the Lakeland Magic and the Tropics and all those things, talk about how, and we joked earlier about it, kind of have your hands in everything, but really if there's multiple facilities in the county, but probably no one as diverse, if you will, between arts and culture, sports, and the quality. Just talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's certainly a really important piece, and county-wide, we're talking with groups all the time. As a matter of fact, we had a Hotel Motel Association meeting, and what we like to do is try to make sure that the hotels throughout Lakeland and throughout the county, make them realize that share the information about what's going on. When people are in town, they're looking for things to do. So there's always something going on at the RP Funding Center. So share that information. So we are in constant communication with them. I sit on an arts board with the county as well. So we're always talking about how we, our the ISOs there, and we have the Lakeland Art Guild that has a rotating show that comes into the RP Funding Center. When you come into the lobby, not only you're going to see the county's wonderful new
little
booth,
visitor services
center,
area,
their visitor center, which is awesome. You're going to see art that local artists are displaying, and we're happy to do that for the community. I think it's really important. But when you bring in the mix of the Magic and what their mission is to expand the brand of the Orlando Magic, and we're happy to do that because they're right here in Lakeland, and we want to be part of that. And the Tropics come in, and they're pretty much international.
Oh yeah.
They have soccer. This part of their soccer team. This is an international thing, so it's really great to see that. So that expands that, like you said, we touch everything.
That's fantastic. And you look at the Tropics and what they're doing now, just won an outdoor title, and the way they're aligning with their leagues, now a lot of the same players are going to be playing the indoor game and the outdoor game, so it really lends to the branding and not only the Tropics, but of these individual players.
Yeah, they're really in it to win it.
Yeah.
They really are. They think they've signed 11 free agents. One of the free agents they signed was the rookie of the year, I believe, last year, or one of the top players from last year. So they're really putting a team out there to
From
win.
what I understand, and I don't know all the names, but they went out and basically got the best player from a lot of the other teams in the league. So
we're stacking it up.
It's exciting. Yeah.
Or they're stacking it up, and we're happy to be the venue to host that. Now, of course, they started out the season on the road. December 5th and December the 7th, but they'll be back for their first home game on December the 14th against their probably, I would think, their rivals, the Kissimmee Seawolves.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. They have a rival real close, and you guys are going to go at it.
Well,
I think they play them
for
5 or 6 times out of the year.
Yeah,
too,
and that's
so.
what you want. You want to have
yeah.
that. You want to have that rivalry there. But so the Magic, year 3, I believe year 3, right?
Yes.
Year 3, the Tropics. Year 4 for the indoor team. What other events are coming up? Of course, FHSA, boys and girls, are right around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. We're obviously really excited to have FHSAA again. It's a long relationship, and we want to continue that relationship. We actually extended it for 1 year because some of what the FHSA is doing is a little bit different this year. They have they went from 7 classes to from 9 classes to 7. So the reduced number of classes from 5 days to 4 days, but they are they are doing things a little bit different. So we decided, let's get through this year, let's figure out what works, and we want to make sure that we continue that relationship for a long, long time to come in the future. And I was talking earlier, I was like, who are those local teams that we can always count on to be in it? We got, of course, the Winter Haven girls are always a powerhouse. I'm sure, Neal, you might probably have some idea on who you think might be part of it from the boys' side.
Well, I certainly
You are
have.
a perennial.
I have never been bashful about where my allegiance is. So whether it's Florida State or it's Bartow High School, of course my son goes there, but that Bartow basketball team. But I think that's one of the things that we always like to talk about, especially during the All Sports Awards, Hank, is the fact that a lot of people want to think of Polk County as football. Because football is very large in the state of Florida. That's not breaking news. But you look at the success in boys basketball and girls basketball, boys basketball, baseball, all these sports.
Oh, you got wrestling, you got golf,
Absolutely.
you've got
I think last year
all
the
the
sports
sports.
awards.
Swimming, these kids are placing in the state in the swimming championships.
There was like 21. I think it was 21 state and national championships that were honored last year at the Polk County All
There
Sports
was a
Awards.
lot of kids being honored.
But I
That's
think the
really
neat thing
cool.
about girls and boys basketball is everybody's pointing towards Lakeland. Everybody's pointing towards the RP Funding Center each year because if you have walked in that building, you've had a special season.
Yeah.
And that's just good feelings about the local community when that happens.
Yeah, we had a guy in. It was, I guess, it was about a week and a half ago. He's a producer for one of the traveling shows that came through, and he said, I played in the championship here a few years back. He was not a very old kid, but he said, yeah, I played in your arena. I played in championships. I said, that is really cool.
It's no different.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
I mean, the place is packed. And I mean, that's going to be one of those things in your life that you'll never forget. And I'll never forget the game. The young kid from Samaripis is, how did you pronounce it?
Jeremiah Samaripis.
Samaripis.
He's a college basketball coach now.
Yeah. And he, his junior year, they lost in the finals, and then you saw him come back in his senior year, and his confidence level was at such a higher peak. And this kid could handle the ball like no other. He was phenomenal. And then they go on and win, and you're watching your hometown, heroes win a state championship. That's special for the community that they can go and participate in that.
Sure.
Absolutely.
But that's one of the greatest moments of high school basketball that I'll remember because this
there's
kid was
lots of
so
them.
impressive. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Tony, give us the website one more time for folks that are looking for events. Here.
rpfundingcenter.com, and if you through the next couple of months, you're going to have a lot of discounts. And if you check the ledger, we got a big print ad coming out. And we have e-blasts from LAL and on our Facebook. Tons of great discounts on our shows. So look for the big ad on November 24th. There's going to be a lot of information there.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much. Next time we'll just have you on for the whole show because you guys have so much to talk about.
There's lots more to talk about.
Absolutely. All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon.
Tony, always great having you on the show.
Thank you.
All right. Well, coming up in February, we'll be hosting the South Regional Championships for Quidditch once again. But we're going to look back to this past year in 2019 for those championships were at Lake Myrtle. But coming up in 2020, they'll be at Feltram Field there at Balmoral Resort. Stick around. Hank and Neal will be right back here on Sports Central.
South Regional Championship. So there's teams from all over our South, primarily Florida. We also have a South Carolina team here that are competing for two things. They're competing for the regional championship title, and then they're also competing for a bid to our national championship in April. We have 88 teams competing, 64 collegiate teams, and 24 club teams. So 5 teams from colleges in the South are going to be competing at the national championship in Round Rock, Texas, April 13th and 14th. It's inspired by the Harry Potter series, and it was first played in 2005. So in the past 14 years, it's developed immensely. We've had a lot of changes to the rules, a lot of adaptations, but it's a full contact, mixed gender sport that kind of grows and changes each year. So at any given time, each team can have 6 or 7 people on the field. There's people who are taking the quaffle, which is a volleyball, and they're going through the hoop, and it can go through either side for 10 points. And then there's people that have bludgers, which are dodgeballs, and if that hits you, you have to drop the ball you're holding, run back, touch a hoop, takes you out for a few seconds. So that's most of it. Most of scoring is that back and forth, those 10 points per goal. And then we also have the snitch runner will come out. So it's a neutral athlete, one of our officials, that's dressed, they have yellow shorts on with a sock and a tennis ball in it. Grabbing that is 30 points and ends the game. It's a very intense sport. Our contact is similar to rugby, for example. So there's tackling involved, there's wrapping. We have a pretty extensive rule set and pretty detailed rules, but there is tackling involved, just a lot of both athleticism and physical play as well. 80% of our teams are collegiate teams, and so of those, there's definitely a good number that are club sports at their university and really are playing competitively at a high level. We also have a number of schools that play at a less competitive level and still compete officially with us. We also have a lot of teams that compete not officially through the league, but play throughout the year in smaller tournaments. So people will host tournaments that have either a lower competition level or just kind of a different goal for the tournament. So pretty much any level that people are interested in, we have that. Then we also have our club teams, so those are our community teams that are primarily people who graduated college. This weekend we only have collegiate teams, so it's just our college athletes competing. We have some people who play on our community or club teams in the South that are here as coaches for the teams, but they'll be competing at an event in Texas next weekend. So it's just collegiate teams here this weekend competing for the collegiate title. With Polk County Sports Marketing is incredible. They've been really supportive of us. We had an event here a few years ago and had a great experience. It was at this sports park as well. And we was really impressed with the Lake Marshall Sports Park, just everything it has to offer and the facility maintenance. So we've loved it here, and the support they've had has been invaluable. We hear really great positive feedback from our athletes about it. Obviously, all the basics like the turf quality here, the grass is impeccable. And just overall the quality. I think it really impresses our athletes when they drive into the facility to see what a nice facility it is. And then there's just so many little perks we can offer teams at a facility like this. So for example here, we're able to give each team use of a pop-up tent over the weekend through our partnership with Polk County Sports Marketing, which is incredible, and our teams really appreciate those little touches that we're able to do here.
Deeper! Out of zone!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal Duncan alongside Hank Longo, and
Hello, everybody, again.
yeah,
Great
the second
Friday.
segment brought to us by Contempo Vacation Homes.
A great partner.
We want to mention them, tremendous partner, but some great footage there from Quidditch. Of course, if you're tuning in to Sports Central and you're going, is that from Harry Potter? Yes,
Yes,
it is.
from Harry Potter.
But it is exploded into a domestic and international event, and of course, you know us here at Polk County Sports Marketing. If it's morally or ethically sound, we're going to recruit it to Polk County. So it is a fantastic event with great economic impact. So not only are we hosting the regional championships again in 2020, but we also are having discussions with them about the national championship. So stay tuned for that. But our next guest, we'll go ahead and get into our next guest here. And I will go ahead and say, as long as Hank and I are here, this next guest will be on every show because of what he has brought with him. But Hank, go ahead and introduce our next
We
guest.
want to thank Kellan Rudnicki for coming to join us from Elite Cable Park. Just a new venue for everybody here in Polk County to have a cable park and the opportunity to learn how to wakeboard, ski, and do all that fun stuff. And boy, congratulations on putting this all together.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be back here, Hank and Neal. And, as Neal mentioned, we did bring some treats from our partners, Tantrum's Dockside Grill. So I can tell you the food's actually much better than it smells, if that's even possible. But we have some fish there.
No way
Looks
that's
good.
true. So let's
Let me try some of that.
Feel free to dig in. I mean, we have...
No. You're going to conduct the interview. I'm going to eat.
This is delicious already.
But let's, while Hank is doing the viewers a disservice by eating in front of them, but no, just kidding. Let's talk about, because obviously the two of you are very involved in the water ski industry, and as you know, I'm not as much. So let's talk about, in case folks that are at home watching don't realize, what is there, what services you offer, because I think the Get Up guarantee is fantastic. So this is the way I see it, and then I'll let you comment about it. For someone who doesn't own a boat, this is an opportunity for residents in Polk County who don't have a boat to enjoy life on the water. So with that, tell our viewers at home what the Elite Cable Park is.
So that's 100% correct. And, really what we try and do is open up the joy of water sports to as many people as possible. That's what we are so thrilled to be part of this community and be able to bring this to, the citizens of Auburndale. So as you mentioned, we don't utilize a boat when it comes to being pulled on the water, which is what you typically see with wakeboarding or water skiing or anything really, in towed water sports. Instead, we use a cable system, which basically allows it to be a lot more affordable and accessible for a lot of people. And as you mentioned, our signature package, the Get Up Guarantee, it's really our bread and butter product, where what we do is we take the hardest part of wakeboarding, which is typically just getting up on the water, and we really break it down for you. So you get a 15-minute private lesson just on getting up on a private cable system that we have. That'll teach you the fundamentals, and then you'll take those fundamentals you learned out into the water. And we operate 2 other water sports complexes as well. We have numerous years of operating these, so we've really kind of broke it down and have our staff are real experts on teaching this. So whether you've never tried wakeboarding or whether you've had a little bit of experience, this package not only includes that 15 minutes, you get 4 hours of cable time after that and all the equipment. So as you mentioned as well, not only do we have the water sports complex there on 33 Denton, right off Lake Myrtle, right south of the Polk County Sports Complex, we also have Tantrum, so you can enjoy this wonderful meal after you get done riding.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I wasn't sure if you were still chewing something or not. So no, and I think that's an important part. So if you're bringing the kiddos, they can experience, if you don't want to get out there, they can experience the cable park, but the adults can be sitting there. There's lakeside dining right there, so you can, if it's a Friday evening and you're not looking to actually be on the cable, you can just go for dinner.
Oh, 100%. It is a beautiful sunset view. So you can bring the family, you can watch them ride, you can enjoy a meal. It's really just a great time out on the water with the family, and that's really what we're all about.
Well, it's just such a unique venue. To have a place on the water where we don't have that many, with restaurants where you can just, not even if you're going to go to the cable park, but you just want to go to Tantrums and have their great food and the great view that you have sitting on the back deck. That in itself is such a nice experience. And like you said, if you're going out there with your family, you don't have to go anywhere. You can eat there, you can watch the kids, wakeboard, and it's really just a real bonus for us, definitely. And you're in the water ski capital of the world, so what a great fit.
Yeah, no, we absolutely love being part of this community and all the support that we get from everyone here. And what's really exciting to us is we're building that community now of water sports enthusiasts, and something we'd love to offer to anyone who's viewing the show right now is an exclusive promo code. So if you use the promo code RIDECP online, you can get 20% off our signature Get Up Guarantee package. So that's really something great. We also have a Black Friday special coming up too, where you can save $300 on our unlimited membership. So, we really want to try and cultivate the community of riders, and we're just thrilled to see the turnout that we've been getting and excited to get more people out on the water with us.
Well, that's fantastic. And, like you mentioned, and for the folks out there listening, if you didn't catch this, you don't need any equipment. You just have to show up, and you've got all the equipment that they need. You'll get them all geared up and off to the races.
Yep, you can show up with nothing at all and an empty stomach, and we'll be able to take care of both.
Well, obviously there's a season to everything, and your season obviously is more in the summer months. So right now the hours of operation, Monday and Tuesday closed, but Wednesday through Friday 2 to 6 p.m. and then Saturday 11 a.m. Saturday and Sunday 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. But we already talked about the promo code RIDECP to get that discount. The Black Friday sale that's coming up, but you also have another event that's coming up, which I think the name's kind of funny. Sienna Shed the Belly 5K. Seems like it's self-explanatory, but talk to us about this event that's coming up.
So we're thrilled to be part of this event as well, and it's really working with Polk County and our partner in the Hall of Fame, or USA Hall of Fame Water Ski Foundation, and basically it's going to be a great way to we all know the holiday season, and it's something where you just end up enjoying the good times and the food as well.
Yeah, thanks for kicking it off for us.
I was about to say, I'm not doing much of a favor, kicking it off for you, but it's going to be a great 5K event. It's going to end at the cable park as well, so we're going to have specials for that day at the park. As you mentioned, we do kind of have a season, so with all of our parks, we do kind of adjust the hours. For some of our locals,
right.
I know when the water gets a little bit chilly, I'll bust out the wetsuit pretty early, but it's really something where, today it's 80 degrees out. So
I know, it's gorgeous. What a gorgeous day to be on the lake.
Well, that 5K will be December 7th from 8 to 11 a.m., finishing up, as you said, there at the Elite Cable Park. $35 entry fee, and if you're not a runner, you can just come out and enjoy the event. Holiday activities, a health fair, toy drive, music, food and fun. Obviously the food we got covered, but looking forward to that event. Just another unique event there at the Lake Myrtle Sports Park in Auburndale. But there's not access, I think this is important to let everybody know, there's not access to the Elite Cable Park going in off of Berkeley into the Lake Myrtle Sports Park. So you mentioned the address earlier. So before you get to Lake Myrtle Sports Park, if you got there, you've gone too far. Turn around 330 Denton Avenue, correct?
That is correct. So we're at 330 Denton Avenue. That's where you're going to be able to find us and Tantrums as well. Tantrums is actually open 7 days a week. So I'm sure once you have the food once, you're going to be hooked.
Yeah,
so definitely feel free to come on out and enjoy the food there. But for our cable, as you mentioned, we'll be open from 2 to 6 during the weekdays, and then from 11 to 6 on the weekends.
And then you've got Meet Santa and Mrs. Claus that we didn't mention.
So they are going to be part of the 5K as well.
Okay.
They'll be, getting in shape for the annual toy run this year.
Santa getting a little run-in before the big haul. Huh?
Exactly.
Oh, that's how that works. I think that's been my problem. I haven't done the running. I've just done
get the run in there.
Done the eating. What else? And we just have a couple of minutes left here. But what else should someone who's, wow, I didn't know that was in Polk County, or I didn't know that was over in Auburndale. What should they know? I think Hank mentioned it. Have a swimsuit, have a towel, or something like that.
You got everything else provided.
But what should they expect from that experience? I know you have the Get Up guarantee. I know you have, but this course isn't as scary as maybe some of the other courses, and I've kind of heard it referred to for the novice that you have the bunny slopes available for someone, so they don't need to be scared of venturing out and trying this.
Yeah, so I mean, one thing that I always like to try and mention, when talking about water sports in general, is they really are one of the easiest and most fun activities you can do. I used to do snowboarding and skateboarding, and I got rid of those a long time ago because that can be a hard fall. With us, we're operating in the water. So it's really a lot easier than you might think, and I think it's definitely something everyone should try. Especially with our Get Up Guarantee package, we really take the hardest part of it, break it down to simple steps, and a lot of people out there, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, oh, I can't do this, or I'm uncoordinated, or that sounds
And
too
you
hard.
get them up and going, and they're fine.
Not only up and going, but they'll be doing flips in a few months as well. It really is something where it's a great sport. It's an easy, accessible sport. You just got to kind of get over that first hump. And with our Get Up Guarantee package, we make that as easy as possible.
Well, the thing that, if you're wondering if folks out there doing flips and stuff, to explain the course a little bit with all the different ramps that you have to go off of and the different platforms they can jump up on. So it's just not going around in a circle without anything to make it more exciting.
Exactly. It's really kind of like a choose your own adventure. So you can basically do whatever you want, and if you want to just ride straight, great. If you want to try the obstacles, even better. Whatever you want, we're happy to help out.
It's there, yeah.
Well, fantastic. Kellan, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. We look forward to, we were talking to Tony Camarillo in our earlier segment about how diverse the activities and the offerings are for not only residents, but also visitors, leisure travelers in Polk County. This is another piece of inventory to let not only residents use it, but also those visitors come into Polk County. So we're excited about it.
Yep, no, definitely completely agree with you in that. It's a great amenity, and anytime you want me to come by, I know especially now,
Yeah,
you
now
just
that
you're going to be a regular on the show now.
We'll get you here every Friday afternoon.
All right, Kellan, thank you so much from
Thanks,
the Elite
Kellan.
Cable Park there at the Lake Myrtle Sports Park in Auburndale. Well, as we go to break, we're going to go ahead and toss it to our third segment. This next segment is brought to us by the Extended Stay America. We have some footage and a great feature here that I talked about at the open of the show of the 2019 Pan-American Lacrosse Association women's female, the Qualifier. It was a great event. The World Qualifier. It was a fantastic event, first of many that we're going to host there at the Lake Myrtle Sports Park in Auburndale. And also during this, we're going to go to our athlete spotlight. I know it's something you and I really enjoy, seeing all these great athletes in Polk County.
Kids.
So stick around. Hank and Neal will be right back on Sports Central.
Welcome to the inaugural 2019 PALA Women's World Lacrosse Qualifier. My name is Brittany Yamley, and I am an intern for the Pan-American Lacrosse Association and a lacrosse player myself. I am very honored to be your MC for today's opening ceremony. Now for the officials for our competition. Now reading the rosters is Mr. Mark Luckett.
Representando la Selección Nacional de Puerto Rico. Welcome, Jamaica. Bienvenidos a Argentina. Representando a Colombia, la selección nacional. Representando a México, la selección nacional. Representing the Haudenosaunee Nation.
President Redfern, Vice President Stannerson, World Lacrosse Board and Executive Officers, Commissioner Braswell, Mayor Pospical, Board of Directors of PALA, athletes, officials, and volunteers. We made it. We are here. Our gathering here today is a gathering of remarkable stories. They are stories of resilience and generosity, courage and perseverance. They are stories as old as this game of lacrosse we play and as young as our Continental Federation. Born on January of 2018, we will turn 2 in a few months. So, thoroughly potty trained and about to hit our terrible 2s. World Lacrosse, watch out. We are home to 3 of the strongest lacrosse programs in the world: USA, Canada, and the Iroquois Nationals. Fully developed, we will be a 51-country Continental Federation. I believe the pathway to the Pan Am Games and the Olympics is with a strong Pala. And I can't think of a better location to start building that strong foundation for growth and development than right here at our headquarters in Florida. I am particularly grateful that Mark Jackson and Bill Braswell did not slap a restraining order on me when I bugged them to listen to me about lacrosse. Instead, they believed in our vision and gave us a home. I am grateful to World Lacrosse for their ongoing and sustaining support. Your presence here is very special to all of us. We walk this path to the Olympics together. Our gathering here today is to celebrate women in sports, women in lacrosse. And as I look out at all of you, I am so proud. I see fierce, courageous, take no prisoners women who are ready to compete, who are ready to leave it all on the field, who are here to represent. Welcome to your home. You will always have a place here.
A year ago, when I introduced Kat to Mark Jackson and the rest of the crew at Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, I had no idea it would lead to this. Thus, it seems only fitting that I make a major announcement before this tournament. Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing and the City of Auburndale will build a stadium on this site. The stadium is scheduled to open a year from now. Kat, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Sternson, Ms. Redfern, we hope you join us a year from now when the stadium opens. None of this would have been possible without teamwork behind the scenes. Polk County welcomes entrepreneurs, dreamers, creators, and artists, but they bring the energy that keeps the wheels of progress turning. I thank Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, the City of Auburndale, and the folks from PALA for making this world-class event possible. With a recent establishment of PALA headquarters at Lake Myrtle, this isn't just an event, it's a housewarming.
In my capacity as Vice President of World Lacrosse and Chief Executive Officer of U.S. Lacrosse, I want to welcome you to the 2019 Pan-American Lacrosse Association Regional Qualifier for the 2021 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship. Staging an event of this scope requires tremendous leadership and commitment, and I want to thank the Pan-American Lacrosse Association Board of Directors and particularly Secretary General Kat Lowe for their tireless efforts in that regard. Lacrosse is a Native American sport that has been played by North America for centuries, but U.S. Lacrosse is a relatively young organization, formed just 20 years ago to lead the sport's national growth and development. And in that short period, lacrosse participation within the United States has more than tripled. In the state of Florida alone, there are more than 12,000 youth players, over 15,000 high school players, and almost 24 college programs, including Florida Southern, which won the 2016 NCAA Division II Women's Championship. I share this perspective because there is no doubt that the Pan-American Lacrosse Association and its growing membership, working in close collaboration with World Lacrosse, will experience similar success, expanding participation in Central and South America in the years to come. With that in mind, I wish the athletes on each team all the best for competition success, as well as an enjoyable, memorable experience here in Florida. Thank you very much.
This year, 2019, is the first time World Lacrosse has moved to regional qualifiers, and it marks a transition towards a new image for our world events. It puts us on the same footing as many of the other top-level sports who have regional qualifiers to go to their world championships. It means lacrosse is entering a new era. And as we seek to get into global multi-sport events in the future, this is really going to become one of the first things that we do. You will see this happening again and again. During this year, World Lacrosse has done the following with respect to women in lacrosse. Firstly, we have signed up to an international women's group declaration. We did this publicly with the IOC. It's known as the Brighton and Helsinki Declaration, and we signed it while we were on the Gold Coast. This recognises the important role that sport and physical activity play in the lives of girls and women. And by signing it, we as World Lacrosse have pledged to provide equity of opportunity to participate, compete, build careers within our organisation and our sporting system. We have said that World Lacrosse shares the vision of the International Working Group on Women in Sport to create a sustainable sporting culture and that we value the full involvement of girls and women in every aspect of sport and physical activity.
We declare the 2019 Palo Women's World Lacrosse Qualifier open!
Well, this is the inaugural Pan-American Lacrosse Association regional qualifiers for the 2021 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship. So this is Pan-American Lacrosse Association is a brand new international continental federation, and the teams that are participating in this event need to play here if they would like to advance into the World Championships in 2021, which are being held in Towson, Maryland, USA. Well, lacrosse currently is not an Olympic sport, but that is where we are, our pathway where we're looking to go. And so World Lacrosse is our international federation. We currently have, I believe, 63 countries who are a part of World Lacrosse. And World Lacrosse hosts world championships for several disciplines for men and women, for under 19 men and women for field, senior men and women field, and then box lacrosse. And so these continental federations are relatively new and are fielding regional qualifying events because the participation is capped at World Championships at 30 teams from participating. I mean, this is an unprecedented partnership, I would say, for any country or any federation in our sport. Polk County has been incredible, the partnership and support, Lake Myrtle Sports Complex, the quality of the fields, the marketing support has been really again, unprecedented. Most of the countries that are coming here, they probably never played on fields quite as nice. They have never had this is our headquarters here. It's unbelievable for the pride that these countries have when they show up at this facility, and to see a sign and to see their flags represented on the stadium field is just remarkable for them.
My name is Issy Pita. I am 16 years old and I am the kicker for the Lake Region football team. Well, I've played soccer for the past 11 years, so I wanted to use my ability in kicking in another sport, so I was like, oh, let's do football. So my mom came up with the idea of me doing football, and I was like, that's actually a really good idea. I can use my skills from soccer to help to do football. So
my first impression was, yep, those are going through the uprights, this will work. In my background, I've been coaching girls weightlifting here for going on 4 years. Before that, when I was at Florida Atlantic in their strength conditioning department, I worked with a lot of female sports. So, that was not something that made a difference to me. It was just whether or not she could do the job. She's got a great mental outlook. She doesn't really let a lot of things rattle her. And obviously, I admire the bravery from my standpoint, stepping into what's naturally going to be an uncomfortable position just because you're not surrounded by any girls. And, it's just the bravery to do that day in and day out and not bat an eye at it, and then step out on the field Friday nights when they're definitely trying to come after you and not blink an eye like that. That's something I admire, just looking up to it.
Well, I've been homeschooled for the past 11 years, and this year was the first year I've done 2 electives at a public school, so I didn't have any fear at all. I knew I had God with me, and then plus my parents supporting me, so I wasn't scared at all. It wasn't weird being the only girl on the football team. It was just like, we're all teammates, so we just got used to it. Seeing my players down, that's kind of difficult to watch. Like, you just gotta encourage them, but it's kind of difficult to see, like, when someone messes up, they get, like, upset, so that's kind of difficult. I don't like seeing my teammates, like, upset. Oh, we have a great relationship. It's like, I'm like the little sister, and then they're all the big brothers, and they're always protecting me, and, like, we're always having fun together, so yeah, we have a close bond also.
Every day they tell me, if anybody lays a finger on her, coach, you're gonna have to hold me back. So, they're fully bought in. They protect her like a sister, and they don't put up with anybody trying to come close to her. The thing that I've admired about Izzy the most is she's never asked for any special treatment just because she's a girl. She's just been, I'm gonna do what you need me to do because this is football, this isn't, whatever else it might be. And I think that's been the key to her success, is because she's just come in, she's done what she's asked, and she hasn't blinked an eye. And anybody else who's trying to do the same thing, a similar attitude would probably be a benefit.
Well, for me, I do 75 kicks each practice, so then I can work on aiming it into the uprights. Well, I'm just staying focused so then I don't miss it. And I'm not worrying about the tall guys in front of me. I'm just focusing on the ball and then getting into the uprights. Actually, right now I have a strained ligament in my foot, so the past 2 football games I've had to kick with it, and the strained ligament was from a volleyball practice, so I play volleyball also. I guess it's made me braver and stronger, and well, it's pushed me past my comfort zone. I'm planning on doing football for my senior year, yes, and soccer also, and volleyball, hopefully. It's all up to God ultimately, but college, maybe the military, I just have many options.
Anybody can do anything. Ultimately, it's their choice to make their decision, and maybe it won't be your decision, but that doesn't mean you can take anything away from what they're choosing to do. Obviously, she's a gifted athlete. She's playing 2 sports in the fall. She very easily transitioned from kicking a soccer ball to kicking a football, so clearly she is gifted at whatever she wants to put her mind to. So as cliche as it is, the sky is the limit for her. She's just got to figure out what she wants to go after, and she'll make it.
Everybody, welcome back to the 4th and final segment of Sports Central. Neal Duncan here alongside Hank Longo.
Hello, everybody, on our final segment of the show. And you know what was so nice about having those video segments in between is we had time to have lunch.
There's no food left
and there's
here.
no food left from Tantrum, so we want to thank Kellan very much and Duncan and Marianne at Tantrums for that delightful surprise lunch.
Absolutely, and I didn't do a great job of introducing that last feature in the package there, but Pan-American Lacrosse Association, we talk about the qualifier that was held there at the Lake Myrtle Sports Park in Auburndale, and their headquarters are located there as well, a new partner of tourism and sports marketing. So many more of the international or the Pan-American Lacrosse Association events and international teams coming in to train. So we're very excited about that. We want to give a special thank you. Saw her in there, Kat from Pan-American Lacrosse Association. We also want to thank Commissioner Braswell for his part in kind of bringing the organizations together. Yeah. So cool stuff. Hey, it's almost Thanksgiving. I know this will air for a couple of weeks, but it's almost Thanksgiving, and that means getting into the high school football playoffs, and Polk County still has 4 teams.
It's amazing.
As of right now, we're on air.
We've got Lakeland.
Of course, Lakeland.
Lake Wales. And that game's tonight, and I'd almost love to go down there to watch this running back that's just tearing it up.
Well, I saw him play Bartow, and but
spectacular. Then
really good.
Who else do we have?
You got Victory, Lakeland Christian, Lakeland, and Lake Wales. Unfortunately, Lake Gibson lost last week in 4 overtimes. So we still have 4 teams competing for FHSA State Football Championship. So good luck to all those teams, and we're excited. Of course, Lakeland, defending state champ in 7A.
So, and as we get ready with this 4th segment, we cannot help but thank the folks at Days Inn and Suites for being our sponsor on this final segment of our show.
We didn't do that?
No, we just kind of got going talking about
football.
Well,
we're full. So we're trying to get through this last segment before we take a nap. But that food from Tantrums was fantastic. But yes, Days Inn, we want to thank them, a great partner. Speaking of great partners, the Winter Haven Fieldhouse and Conference Center, of course, a partnership between the city of Winter Haven and Polk County Tourism Sports Marketing, of course, the Board of County Commissioners. Great partnership there, and January 4th is when they're going to officially open up. We do have an event that's going to be between Christmas and New Year's there, but the official opening will be January 4th, and we're talking 12 volleyball courts, 6 basketball courts, but so many other amenities are going to be there.
You've got the pool, you've got a big track upstairs that you can walk around on. So just another one to talk about, the quality of life to enhance it for the people in our community. But then you have people coming in from out of town, and you've got 2 hotels just down the street, the Hampton Inn, the Holiday Inn.
Absolutely.
And to be able to be doing business here in town, you've got all the restaurants, and then you can walk down to the new Fieldhouse and get a workout in and get some exercise. So just another one of those entities that we brought into the county to enhance the life experience.
The economic impact to the county, because we've already booked. I don't want to say booked because it sounds like it just took an order. Recruited and placed over 40 events at the Winter Haven Fieldhouse and Conference Center. So you look at that, very few of those are displaced from somewhere else. And what I mean by displaced is a few of those events were maybe in multiple locations around the county that now have one venue, put everybody there. But you know what that does? That opens up those other venues to recruit more business to Polk County. So
just keep
2020,
getting busier and busier.
yeah, we're headed into Thanksgiving and then we're headed into Christmas. But 2020, as the focus has been on 2020 for a while, those numbers, the economic impact, the overnight stays, the restaurants, all those things, the attractions, 2020 is looking like it's going to be another barn burner.
Yeah, it definitely is, and just can't thank everybody that's been involved in making this all happen.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot
So
of
upcoming
events going on. Yeah, we got some
Let's get to
going
it.
on. Of course, we mentioned earlier today the Sound of Music, FSC's Festival of Fine Arts, and that's through November 21st, the 21st through the 24th, and it's going to be at the Lee Buckner Theater in Lakeland.
Yeah.
And then the Turkey Duel. That's kind of a neat thing for youth baseball.
Yeah, some youth baseball. Now, it's a Diamondplex, so don't be confused. Say, well, Diamondplex. Well, on these youth events, you can have baseball events on the softball field. So that's what we're doing there. That's November 22nd through the 24th. We also have the World Sports League Co-Ed Tournament of Champions. That is a slow pitch event that'll be taking place. We already talked about the Elf on the Shelf. That's at the RP Funding Center on November 25th.
And then, if you have no place to go on Thanksgiving Day, well, we've got a place for you, and that's Thanksgiving at the Garden, and that's at the location of the Hilton Garden Inn in Lakeland on November 28th from 11 to 3, and you can join the Hilton family there for Thanksgiving lunch, including all these great things like pumpkin soup, prime rib, green bean casserole, fresh baked cookies, and so much more. So if you don't have a place to go on Thanksgiving Day,
or
check out
if you
the
have a
Hilton
bunch
Garden
of family
Inn.
friends in town you don't want to deal with, you don't want to cook
Take
for
them
them.
there. That's right.
They'll take care of you there at the Hilton Garden Inn. Of course, that's right outside or right in front of the Lakeland International Airport there. So, of course, we have a number of Christmas parades coming up. Lakeland on December 5th, Winter Haven December 6th, Bartow December 13th, and Haines City December 20th. Of course, the Winter Haven Parade, that's the Havendale Parade, so that's Winter Haven and Auburndale. You'll want to check that out.
Get you in the mood for the holiday season, and then home run for the holidays, December 6th to the 8th, and that's at the Diamondplex as well. And this is a youth baseball tournament for the 8 and under to 14 and under division, so we keep these kids playing ball all year long.
Yeah, we also have, coming up in December, we also have the AAU National Championships. This is youth football. They're going to be playing kind of their paring down rounds there at the Northeast Regional Park, just north of Davenport there. And then their championship games will be at the Feltram Field at Feltram Sports Complex there. And of course, that's inside of Balmoral Resort. So they're doing some great things there. So a great partnership between Feltram Sports, Polk County Sports Marketing, and the county's Parks and Recreation with Northeast Regional Parks. So we're looking forward to that. And so all of their contests will be in Polk County and their accommodations.
So we talked about this Santa Shed the Belly 5K that's taking place on December 7th from 8 to 11. Polk County Hoop Fest, December 20th to the 21st.
Well, that's the first event being conducted there at the new Winter Haven Fieldhouse and Conference Center, but then again, January 4th is the public opening of that facility, so look for more information on that. We already mentioned when Tony was on the show that the 2020 Lakeland Magic season has started, so you'll want to go to their website. Their next home game is Sunday, December 1st, and the Tropics, I think they open up their home season, was that December 15th there at the RP Funding Center?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Have you been to one of those indoor games?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so exciting.
And I hear that it is, and I really need to get to one.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some sponsors.
We've got some sponsors. We couldn't do it without these folks. Want to thank you very much. Balmoral, Lakeland Magic, Ovation Bistro and Bar, Office Furniture Depot, and People's BBQ. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your support.
I had some People's yesterday.
Yeah, I had some last week, and they do not disappoint. Just fantastic stuff.
Absolutely. We want to remind everybody to visit the Lake Myrtle Sports Park and go to the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame. It's located right there at the entrance of the Lake Myrtle Sports Park, or visit the Florida Sports Hall of Fame at the Visitor Information Center 1/2 mile south of I-4 on Highway 27, or go to centralfloridasports.com or give us a call at 863-551-4755. The next edition of Sports Central coming to you live, which will be our year in review, will be December 6th. Right here on PGTV. And as we wrap up another year, we want to thank all the fine folks here at PGTV for everything that they do, whether it's the studio production or covering all of the 270 plus events that are recruited and promoted here in Polk County. We appreciate them for all they do. For Hank Longo, I'm Neal Duncan. We want to remind you, real quick, to tune into the radio version of Sports Central on Talk 1430 WLKF and Talk 96.7 every Tuesday from 7 to 8 a.m. and every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Till December 6th, Hank Longo, Neal Duncan. We'll see you again next time.